In this semester, I am going to take the second module, that is physiology. In physiology, I take the first chapter, so that is water as a solvent. Also, I am going to deal with the next aspects, the pH and as well as the buffer action. So first I start with the water as a solvent. So you know very well water is an important component of the environment on which all life forms living. And for the sustenance of all life forms, water is very essential. And here, water is a solvent. What is water? First of all, it has inorganic component formed by the combination of hydrogen as well as oxygen. And here, water is a main solvent. What is solvent? Solvent is one in which is solid to dissolve. And what is solvent? Solvent is one which dissolves in the solvent. So that is the difference, the relation between solvent and as well as solvent. So water as a solvent. So here, many different substances dissolved in the water. So no other compound compares the water as a solvent, because different or many substances dissolved in the water, and here that's why it is called universal solvent. Most of the substances dissolved in the water. That's why this is called universal solvent, and particularly more true to the inorganic chemicals. So most of the majority of the inorganic substances dissolved in the water, and so these inorganic chemicals are split or dissociate and they bring about electrically charged entities called as ions, and this is called ionization. So this ionization brings about the electrical as well as chemical phenomena. So in the inorganic substances which are dissolved in the water, so that brings about the phenomena that is called ionization. And this ionization brings about a phenomena, electrical phenomena and as well as the chemical phenomena. And also most of the elements dissolve in the water. So that's why this is called universal solvent. Universal solvent. And here also the water is the main medium. What is the main medium? So here, and it constitutes whatever the present in the water. Particularly, it is in place water. It plays a very important role in the particular aquatic ecosystem. And water is the main medium. So by which the constituents or elements transport from one part of the ecosystem to the another part of the ecosystem, and from the abiotic to the biotic quotient. So here in terrestrial, so this is the what exists in the ecosystem. So water is the main medium and it plays an important role in transport of elements from one part to the another part, and also it helps to absorb the nutrients by the life forms. So life forms absorb the nutrients through water. First elements, substances dissolved in the water, and this water is absorbed or taken by the life forms. And particularly that is an aquatic ecosystem. In terrestrial ecosystems, so nutrients pass through the roots in aqueous form. So in a terrestrial ecosystem, what happens? So first water dissolved in the water, and means the nutrients dissolved in the water, and that water is taken up by the roots of the plants, and that is the nutrients are transferred to the various parts of the plants. And also even the animals. This is in plants, and in air-breathed animals, particularly in animals, how the water is very important for the transport of nutrients from one part to the another part. So even if we particularly for the transportation of air, so generally life forms which breathe the oxygen for their sustenance, for their survival. So how the water is very essential for the absorption of the air. So before the air is breathed, after when the air is breathed by the animals, first the oxygen dissolves in the water, and then it passes through the mucous membrane of the first it mixes with the water, and then it passes through the membrane of the lungs. After that, it passes through the mucous membrane, and then it is absorbed in the blood. So that is so water is very important for the transportation of the elements. And also in here, so in aqueous form, so the nutrients present in a smaller quantity, particularly in freshwater bodies. in fresh water, most of the elements dissolve. And here, water is an efficient solvent, and various elements dissolve in the water, and various solids dissolve in the water. And here, the salt concentration, even though it is a efficient solvent in fresh water, so it is able to dissolve various elements. But salt concentration under 1.5% in fresh water than in marine water about 35 parts per thousand. So here the dissolution of elements is more in marine water than in fresh water. So here dissolved salts or they have a significant role in marine water. Marine water, particularly is significant for floating vegetation, particularly in aquatic life forms, as they are not dependent on what we call the elements which are present in the floor. So in the marine water, so most of all life forms they are floating always. They are not settled at the bottom. So always they floating always float as a floating life forms. They are not dependent on the what we call the dependent substrate. So they found always floating in the water. So that's why they entirely dependent on the dissolved elements. So that's why the dissolved salts, so they play a very important or significant role for floating vegetation and aquatic life forms like phytoplankton. As they are not dependent on the substratum for their sustenance, they found floating in the water. So that's why, so water is a main medium here. It plays an important role for the sustenance of life forms in the marine water, particularly in marine bodies like sea and oceans. So, but in freshwater bodies like ponds and pools, here the concentration of the elements nutrients is comparatively less. But in so most of the nutrients which are dissolved and concentration found in terms of 1.5%. So some of the nutrients like phosphorus, silica, nitrates and nitrates are very essential for the sustenance of aquatic life forms, as they are main elements, main nutrients for the growth of for sustenance of aquatic life forms. But here the phosphorus, silica, nitrates and nitrates, they are very well dissolved in the water. So that's why water plays an important role in the transportation of these nutrients from one part to the another part, and also it is a main medium for absorption of these nutrients, phosphorus, silica, nitrates for the life forms. So that's why water is an important and very essential component for all life forms. And some of the aquatic forms like such as algae and various other life forms. So water, all the nutrients are absorbed in the water only. So that's why water is regarded as a universal solvent, and also water is a solvent plays a very important role for the sustenance of life forms. That is water as a solvent. So after knowing about water as a solvent, now let's go to the next topic, the pH. So pH is generally means the power of hydrogen. So here the hydrogen ion concentration. So how to define the pH? pH is the negative logarithm of hydrogen ion concentration. So just find out the hydrogen concentration, negative logarithm of hydrogen ion concentration. So it is this concept of pH is very important for freshwater environments, particularly, and it acts as a limiting factor. So limiting factor means the factor which is going to limit the distribution of plants and animals. So this pH mainly acts as a limiting factor for the distribution of plants and animals, or survival of the life forms like plants as well as animals in both freshwater, generally in aquatic forms as well as in terrestrial forms. And here pH is different in freshwater bodies. So in various parts of the freshwater bodies also the pH is going to fluctuate or vary. So variation of pH is common in different freshwater bodies. So maybe ponds, pools. So if we find one particular pH in pond, we also going to find out the variation in the pH in other freshwater bodies. So like that, so pH variation is common in various freshwater bodies. So pH fluctuation changes seasonally as well as annually. So seasons. We have different seasons like summer season, winter season, rainy season. So according to this season, the pH is going to vary or fluctuate. And also annually, in year by year also we can see the variation in the pH. So annually throughout the year, and also seasonally, and also throughout the year, we are going to change, find, see the variation in the pH. And the response we have seen to the life forms, particularly lower aquatic forms show little response. So lower aquatic forms show little response, whereas higher aquatic life forms react quickly to the pH. So particularly in freshwater bodies, lower aquatic forms maybe so their response to the pH is very less. So but in the higher life forms react quickly to the pH. Okay, and what is the importance of the pH? Why is so significant of the pH, particularly in various ecosystem? So the importance of the pH it is very important for all metabolic activities. For all metabolic activities to run or occur, so the particular maintenance of the particular pH is very much important. Various metabolic activities. Then digestion. So digestion occurs not only in particular pH. So that's a particular pH is to be maintained for the digestion, and even also extraction of the various external products, extraction of mucus and even urine and other external products. So the maintenance pH is very much important. And growth. So growth of the body, growth of the life forms, or growth of the body is also mainly dependent on the pH maintenance. And for the energy production, so the maintenance of the pH is very much important. So energy produced after the food is metabolized or digested, and so the results in the production of the energy. And for the digestion and the absorption of the food and other things is again depends upon the pH. So after the production of food materials, so energy is produced, and for the production of that energy again requires particular pH, maintenance of the particular pH. And so what are enzymes? Enzymes again they are also type of proteins. So here the maintenance of the maintenance and maintaining of a particular structure and as well as activity, the maintenance of the pH is very much important. So enzymes are also proteins, and for the structure and as well as the activity again activity depends upon the pH. So structure and activity of the enzymes again depends upon the enzyme maintenance of the particular pH. And the enzymes reaction. So enzymes react to the only one particular pH. If there is a change, wide change, so the enzyme's activity and structure is going to vary. So that's why structure, activity and reaction entirely depends upon the particular pH. Okay, and also even if there is a change in the pH, so the conformation, there is a chance of change in the conformation of the protein molecules. So that's why the maintenance of the particular pH is very much important. And then so here the pH generally it's a catalyst in biological reaction. So it is like acts as a catalyst. What is catalyst? Catalyst is one which decreases and increases the rate of a reaction. So here the various reactions are going on in our body, mainly digestion, excretion, growth, energy, metabolism. Various activities are going on in our body, and here for all these activities, so here the pH acts as a catalyst. Sometimes there is a need to increase the rate of the reaction. Sometimes there is a need to decrease the rate of the reaction. So that activity is carried out by the maintenance of the pH. So here pH acts as a catalyst in various biological reactions. Okay, and proper pH is to be maintained for the body fluids. Our body is completely composed of various fluids, and maintenance of these fluids, the particular pH is to be maintained. So that is all about the importance of the pH. Okay.